Hey guys, we are live again. Welcome back to our channel, Football Fantasy, and an exciting day of another Premier League day comes to an end, and three brilliant games: Leicester versus Brentford, United versus uh,
Right.
Brighton, and City versus West Ham. Three wonderful games. We saw some exciting football, some brilliant stuff, and just now the final game of the day has ended. In fact, the last game of the match week one has come to an end, Premier League. So lots to talk about today, and two wonderful gentlemen, Agrim and Prashant, have joined me. Your thoughts on today's day? How the games turned out to be?
Exciting. Absolutely exciting to see Haaland in the Premier League.
Absolutely. First time, and after that Community Shield miss, and
Mm,
people were predicting that he may not be turn out to be as good as they think, and he may struggle in the Premier League. But all doubts were cast aside, and he scored
mm,
not one but two goals. So fantastic start for Erling Haaland. Now, before we move on to the City versus West Ham game, a little bit of reactions before United versus Brighton game. What actually went wrong. Overall, United's the attitude they went in. The tactics were on the spot. But still, what's very evidently clear that they don't have the quality. The players are not good enough. They especially the midfield, Fred and McTominay are not United level players. And even if you end up buying Frankie De Jong, who's going to play next to him? Either of them are not fit to be United players. And even if you end up buying Frankie Young, what if he gets injured? You're again back to square one with Fred and McTominay, and it's not going to go anywhere for United. With this, forget about getting into top four. You're not going to get into top six. How that's how difficult and it's going to be. And you know, we are into the game, and suddenly the Athletic is coming out saying that United are strongly linked to Arnautovic. Again, the panic buy thing starts. Arnautovic, and it's actually happening. The because the from the journalists who are putting it out, they're reliable journalists. The Athletic is reliable, and so I don't think now, it's not just a matter of one or two signings. United need two midfielders, one attacker, and one right back. So they failed to do three. Hard. They took so much time to do three deals. Do you think in this span of 25 days that we have, they may actually be able to sign even two players?
Well, to be very honest with you, it looks very doubtful that they would actually be able to pull it off. And again, as I was telling you during the match watch along, that any purchases from this point onwards will not be those researched purchases. They will just be panic buys. So, okay, we need a CDM. Okay, this person is a CDM. Just fills the, yeah, just ticks the box. That's it. That will be the kind of signing that I worry United will go for now. And with that pattern, I don't know where we will end up. Even if we do get these signings, I don't think they will be the kind of signings that we need. They might just be the signings which are ticking the box, but they will not actually fulfill the criteria.
Exactly, and uh, you know, you have had. It's not that signed Ten Hag towards in last couple of months. Ten Hag was
Yeah.
decided as United manager before the season ended. That's so much time to scout players, to speak to Ten Hag, and go out there and look out, get those players. But you know, we can all speak about United not being in the Champions League, not being that attractive this season. But if you are ambitious, you can definitely go and sign players. Arsenal have signed players. They are not in the Champions League. They signed Gabriel Jesus. They signed Zinchenko. Fabio Vieira has been signed. Same with West Ham. They signed some really good players. So if you have the right intent, if you have the ambition, and if you have actually competent people handling the board and transfers, you will go out and sign players. Now, you know we've been criticizing United how bad they've been, but in during this span, we forgot to speak about Graham Potter, how underrated he is, how he set up his team today, and the way they played they stuck to the plan, defended in numbers, and as a team they played so well. It was difficult for United to win the ball back. So your thoughts on Graham Potter and Brighton's approach to this game?
Okay, you go first.
For me, आज का तो मतलब like after watching how United was performing, I think Brighton absolutely handled United's attack and plus midfield very well, and including their like defense. Defense में one player was just making one through ball every time when they had the ball in
Centre
the
back, yeah.
defensive half. Yes,
Centre half was very,
Yeah,
those long balls. Correct.
yes,
And they were actually using Danny Welbeck's strength, I love the way Danny Welbeck played today. Running in
yes,
those channels between the centre halves, troubling them. And both Martinez and Maguire had difficult time dealing with him. And he's involved in both the goals. His involvement in both the goals proved that he was a better player for Brighton today. And like I said earlier, they came out with a plan. They knew what they had to do, and they implemented that, and the players followed the instructions. That's what is very important. On the other side, Manchester United, yeah, the excitement was there, and they wanted to win the game. New manager comes in, and they wanted to prove to the entire world that the last 6 months that don't count, and from here we go on to make a new era. But all plans were into tatters because none of the players were ready. Most of them are not good enough. Some of them still have bad attitude. There was no improvement. The most important thing, there's no improvement from those players from what happened in the last 6 months. Rashford seems the same kind of player. There's no improvement in him. Fred McTominay completely out of sorts. Same with other players as well. Sancho, okay, made a bit of progress there. Fernandez again, they're doing the same old thing, trying too
same
much
as
and at times miserably failing. So, that's what has compiled to United today's defeat and a very poor performance. Now we can talk
yeah,
about United the
can I
entire
just
time.
add one
Yeah,
more point? Can I
yes,
just wanted
again.
to add one more point. After this performance, like teams are actually watching United, like if any sort of what do you call floppy passes, or if any of these players switch off, is going to cause United too much of problems and from their how do you call, from their midfield and their defense, because it's not it, they should be aware, if अगर कोई भी misplaced pass हुआ इनका, they are ready to counter.
yeah,
Correct, correct. And Moses Caicedo was so fantastic, totally winning the battle against Scott McTominay and Fred.
yeah,
Fred, both the goals Fred had a huge part to play. The first goal where he should have actually come and covered, where Luke Shaw had to go and cover the striker, and then that left the out wide player completely free. The second goal itself, the rebound, Fred should have come across and clear that one, but he was late to react. And I'm not saying Fred is a bad player, but again, the quality that you need to have as a United player, that's missing him in McTominay. They cannot be Manchester United starting two midfielders. If this continues, I don't think we are even finishing in top six. Prashant, you wanted to say something?
yeah. So, yes, so I want to add to all of the things that the those you have been saying that firstly to begin with, how United were dismantled by Brighton, right? So two things which were noticeable is that Brighton as a unit, they were a formidable unit, and they were like a well-oiled machine. They knew how to function. Every person knew what their role was, and they were settled into the system compared to United, who, well, they weren't settled in the system, but again, they have not been settling into system for the previous managers either. So that's another problem there. Uh, and any times, like there were moments, and during our watch along, we discussed that there were moments when United looked good, like they looked to be a more progressive side in their approach. Their approach was more progressive. There was the good things were that there were lesser number of sideways passing. There was a lesser number of there wasn't a lethargy in terms of when they were creating chances. If they did go forward, they were going forward. That was the effect of Ten Hag. But then at the same time, old habits die hard, as they say, and eventually all the players, as you mentioned, Bruno, Rashford, all of them, they they came back to their old selves, and they were just looking very apathetic. Like they were just running. They weren't using their heads during the game. And as you mentioned about Bruno, Bruno seems to be a player who seems to be worked out. It's like, it's similar to what people used to say about Jose Mourinho, that his style and everything has been worked out by the opposition. So they just know exactly where the nerve is. They know exactly where to hit, and they hit it. So that's the same thing with Bruno. Uh, People have worked him out, and he can only be effective to a certain extent. After that, he just overdoes things. He tries too hard, makes things too complicated, and in the end, it comes to nothing. So that is something which I've seen of Bruno. I do have hopes with Sancho. Uh, Excuse me, and I think he is the one. I mean, because he still has that pace, and he is kind of familiar with the Ten Hag style of pressing system. So he kind of looks all right, and I think he will be someone I would hope performs better going down the line. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And sums up what the day has been today for United. Uh,
Mm.
Really bad start, and I hope the everyone, the Glazers, Avram Glazer was there, Richard Arnold was there, John Muta was there, and they came out thinking that it will be a signature win for United. We will be there, and they will be taking the praise. We hired Ten Hag, and here we are to start the new era. We are present evidently here, and you are witnessing a new era at United where we are going to win things. And they thought we have come at the right place, and this will be a big PR spin. But things felt apparently in the wrong way. It went completely the wrong way. United lost the game, and I think there was a huge protest outside the stadium, and
Mm.
lots of issues going on.
Uh,
So I don't want to stretch and talk more about this because we've spoken about it in the watch along as well. But unless things change rapidly in the next couple of weeks till the end of the window, United are in for a huge, huge trouble. Forget top four, we aren't even finishing in top six. It's going to be that bad. So moving on from United to the other club in the same city, Manchester City. What a fantastic start they had. And I think, who was it? Prashant or Agrim? Who predicted 2-0 score? I think both of you said 4-0, right? Oh, you said
I said
2-0.
two.
I
I
I
Yeah,
said
for
yeah,
it.
2.
Yeah.
I mean, देखा जाए तो you look at City, they were not that City which were last season, not
Yes.
keeping the ball that much and not doing those tiki taka thing because they had a number nine in them. Last season they were missing out on number nine. This time they have a perfect, ideal number nine suited for the style of play. And you look at the City players, they were trying to put the ball inside the box a lot of times. In the Look at the previous couple of seasons, it was more about keeping the ball, waiting for the
Yeah, they were
right time.
passing their way to the
Correct,
goal.
correct,
Now
exactly.
it's more like
Wait,
prepared.
exactly. Waiting for the right opportunity to make the move, but now they are more expressive. Kevin De Bruyne, Cancelo, Kyle Walker, everyone is more expressive to create more chances because they have the perfect ideal number nine who can get on the end under the crosses, under the passes. You look at that Gundogan move, a fantastic through pass to put him, and that
Mm.
I think he did the right thing to go past the goalkeeper and ended up getting a penalty. And then again, he scored a fantastic through ball from Kevin De Bruyne. That's what City fans would love to see more and more. De Bruyne assisting and Haaland scoring, and that scares as a United fan. That scares me,
Yeah.
and a lot of Liverpool fans will be scared. Chelsea fans will be scared. What an
For
attack!
every
What an
Premier League
attacking duo!
team, for every Premier League team, after what Haaland has done to West Ham today, I think it's a alarming sign for every Premier League team.
Yeah,
And
and
to
the fact that sorry to cut you, Julia.
no, no, bolo, bro,
Just
bolo. Hmm.
Yeah, so just to add to it, we were like only last week we were talking about how or if uh, Haaland will, fit into the system. And in fact, just a while ago today, you did say that initially, for most players, it takes like one season to settle into
Yes.
the system, and second season is like the season when they
Very
are
true.
unleashed. But uh, looking at the evidence on display today, that did not seem to be the case because he was so seamlessly integrated into the system. The understanding between the players was so good. It's like they have really worked very well in training, obviously, but it is just clicking so well. It is functioning superbly. Kevin De Bruyne and even Gundogan and Grealish, these people almost knew when to pass him. Like they like in the first half, there were actually occasions when Haaland took runs, and I believe Grealish and Gundogan did not pass it to him. But as as the match went along, they just got better with that understanding, and they started passing. And that second goal, where De Bruyne gave him that pass,
That
it
part.
was so sumptuous. It was
Delicious.
so smooth. Yeah, seriously, it was so smooth, wasn't it? Like it's like something something you do you can only imagine on a FIFA game, right? Like you have
Yeah,
just
exactly.
pressed that button
More
and
of
it is
FIFA goal.
all perfect into place. Yeah, it has fallen perfectly into place, so well choreographed, and that is maybe that's why Pep is many people compare Pep to an artist because that goal was like a work of art, right?
Yes.
So yeah, amazing goal. Very, very ominous signs for the entire Premier League. Uh, and yeah, it will be interesting to see how Liverpool cope up with that because they are the only contenders, I guess, who can stop them.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they signed. Don't forget, they signed also signed Calvin Phillips. Fantastic defensive midfielder, and
Julian
he will
Alvarez,
definitely play some part. Yeah, yeah.
And they have another number nine, Alvarez.
Julian
Alvarez,
Alvarez,
yes,
yeah, who came
exactly.
on
Julian
from us.
Alvarez.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they have two number
Even he
nines.
has,
If one doesn't work out, there's one more.
yeah, exactly. So precisely.
So
So that
yeah,
that is very scary. Sorry.
Yeah.
correct, correct. No, no. Yes, what you're saying is absolutely correct. मैन सिटी और ऑन कोर्स टू ऐसा लग रहा है कि फिर से इस साल भी उनका डोमिनेंस होगा और वही यू नो come out on top होगी. Liverpool are a good team, but I think City are another league, and both City and PSG will most importantly look to the Champions League, though
Mm.
that is the trophy that both have been, they want to win since a long time, and they've been missing out since couple of years. They've come close, both PSG and City in the final, but lost. So yes, very impactful start for City. Positive signs, and they'll be happy, from what they've achieved today. Now, talking about transfers, I just wanted to quickly do a transfer on this. What are your thoughts on the next 25 days for the Prem? You've all seen the first game week one of the Premier League. What do you think in terms of players? Which teams are missing out on which position? Prashant, your thoughts?
Uh, we have already spoken enough about United, so I would leave them aside for now.
Yeah.
I think in the other teams, obviously Everton were, although they only lost by a goal to Chelsea, but I think they are someone who I feel they need some more players in there. They need some defenders and some midfielders. Uh, I think like they most of the teams right now they have actually done most of their business. But one surprise was Nottingham Forest had to when they did lose uh, like despite spending 100 million. So they
Mm.
might I don't know if they will go with more signings, but obviously whatever they have has not at least clicked for them yet. So that would be that. And speaking of other teams, I think most of the teams are, the thing is that they are actually done with their business. It's very hard to figure out who actually is missing something apart from United because most of the teams have more or less the players that they require. Even the newer side, I think
Hmm.
maybe Leeds will be someone which we can think of that they require some new signings, uh, replacements for Calvin Phillips, Rafinha, those like. But apart from that, I cannot immediately think of any particular team missing out on too many signings. So that is what is going to make this season all the more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Your before I give my thoughts, your output on this, Agrim bhai.
Mera, I think Liverpool needs to probably get a midfielder
Hmm.
because I feel
Correct,
Thiago का injury के बाद ना I think
hmm.
there could be a possibility of Liverpool, going back to the same old thing where they missed out so many players. If you remember,
Correct,
like last season, they had
correct,
to
correct.
play like
Especially defenders. Hmm.
exactly कोई भी player कहीं भी खेल रहा था. So that shouldn't be an issue. But I think ये transfer window में तो I don't think Liverpool is going to buy anything. They're still going to like take a risk.
मुझे भी यही लगता है लिवरपूल का आई थिंक जो है बिजनेस they've already done with it. So
Yes.
unless something bargain deal आता है, मुझे लगता नहीं
Mhm.
लिवरपूल है. Yes, what coming back to your point, you're absolutely right. They still need a midfielder.
Yes.
Henderson's not been all that good. So yeah, he's a
Mhm.
fantastic midfielder, but abhi, I don't think he can play 38 games. In fact, then have you have Champions League as well, the FA Cup and
But
League
there,
Cup.
but there's
Yeah,
no creativity in that team. No? My point
correct,
is that
correct. Thiago is
there's
there,
no
but you need someone
yes,
more, a number eight who can create more. So someone
like
like
De Bruyne.
Gundogan in Man City,
Yeah,
Kevin
De
De
Bruyne.
Bruyne,
Yes.
वो
Exactly.
type के players नहीं है उनके पास.
Mhm.
Yeah, Fabinho is good defensively. So is
Mhm.
this one. Thiago, but Thiago is injured right now. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
what you're saying is correct, absolutely correct. I agree with you. And let me quickly run through any transfer update we have. I think Nottingham Forest are about to sign a player. Okay, moving on. I'll by the time I get an update. Moving on. Uh, I think Chelsea need a striker. It's very important
Mhm.
Chelsea sign a striker because they're playing with Kai Havertz, who's doing a decent job. I'm not
Mhm.
saying he's doing a bad job, but he's not a number nine. Kai Havertz is more of an attacking midfielder who can play
Yes.
centrally as a number 10. He can play on the wings as well and be equally effective. He's a fantastic player, goal scorer, can create goals, but you need someone, up front, number nine. Chelsea has been missing since a long time. आई थिंक आफ्टर डिएगो कोस्टा उनके बाद कोई एक आउट एंड आउट नंबर नाइन उन्होंने साइन नहीं किया जो इतना
Mhm.
इफेक्टिव है. अलवारो
Yes.
मोराटा था बट इट डिडंट वर्क आउट. So didn't Romelu Lukaku. None of those signings worked out, and I think Chelsea have that curse of a number nine. They had Didier Drogba. After that, they couldn't sign another striker who was all that effective. Then Costa came in
Mhm.
for 2, 3 seasons. He did pretty decently. Then they shipped
Yes.
him off, and then after that, they haven't able to manage a striker who can bang in
Mhm.
15, 20 goals at least, per season. You need that kind of a player in your
Yes.
attack. Now, not many options are left. Benjamin Sesko is one of them. So I'm not sure whether Chelsea will be able to pay that kind of money now that they're focused
Mhm.
on Frankie De Jong and signing another wing back. So let's see if they still have the money to sign another player of that caliber and spend that money and have because they've already
Yeah.
spent 40 million Koulibaly, 45 million on Sterling. If they end up buying
Yes.
Frankie De Jong for 75 million, and
Mhm.
who else? The defender for Wesley Fofana 80 million.
Yes.
So I'm not sure they will have that kind of money to spend on a striker. So, but it's still 25, 23 days to go. It's a long
Yes.
time and it's a big window. Towards the end, a lot of players, come out and, a lot of players who have not been active in the summer transfer window, who have not opened up to go out. It may happen, like you saw in case of Callum Hudson-Odoi. He was not played
Mhm.
yesterday. Now he's demanding his way out because he wants to have more game time, which he's going to miss at Chelsea. Now, before we wrap up the show, a quick take on the Premier League top. Spurs are leading right now with 3 points, goal difference of three. Bournemouth are behind them. Arsenal, Man City followed fourth. Newcastle fifth. Brighton sixth. Seventh Leeds and eighth Chelsea. So these eight teams have won all their respective games. Spurs with the most amount of goal difference, followed by Bournemouth, Arsenal, and City. So these are the teams that have won games. So top eight, and then followed by Brentford, Fulham. Leicester and Liverpool, who have drawn their game. So they've got
Hmm.
1 point. Manchester United, Wolves, Everton, Palace, Forest, West Ham, and Southampton are have not yet opened their account. And mm, mm, its top 20 is not looking all that good for United. That's currently in 13th position. But yes, positive signs for clubs like Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal. They have been doing really good. So before we wind up the show, guys, anything that you want to add up?
Um, Nothing much. I mean, we discussed a lot about this week, right? With both of the match players. So I would just like to wrap it up by saying that, yeah, we have at least a new contest to follow. You know, we have had so many years of Ronaldo versus Messi. At least for this season, we know that it will be Nunes versus Haaland in the Premier League. That is something which we all can look forward to. Obviously, the bigger picture is or has always been Mbappe versus Haaland. So that's not going to happen in the Premier League at least for now. But Haaland versus Nunes would be intriguing as well. So that's what I would like to wrap up.
Yeah, yeah, right on the money. And Haaland did score today two
Two
goals.
goals.
Nunes did score one yesterday. And don't count out Harry Kane just in yet. You will see going to see a different Harry Kane under Antonio Conte. So just don't rule him out.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I think Premier League game week one is over. A lot of surprises, and the Liverpool draw was surprising. And today United defeat another surprise. So different type of surprises. थे आज exciting game week one था. And
Hmm.
next week we have a big huge game.
Yeah.
टॉटनहम हॉटस्पर वर्सेस चेल्सी, ट्यूकेल वर्सेस कॉन्टे. बहुत ही फैंटास्टिक गेम होगा. I think Spurs का पहला पहला challenge, actual
Hmm.
challenge होगा with the new team. So let's see how that turns out to be. Otherwise, we will also be doing La Liga next season. So La Liga is going to start, and I'm just waiting for 13th August. ताकि players registration मालूम पड़े सिचुएशन क्या है फ्रैंकी डियोंग की. एक्चुअली फ्रैंकी डियोंग
Yeah,
आएगा है
exactly.
यूनाइटेड. तो
Hmm.
वो बहुत बड़ा
I
दिन है.
know.
डिपे
Hmm.
और मार्टिन ब्राइटवेटे भी है. But I'm interested in Frankie De Jong. What happened? Does
Yeah, to
Barcelona
him. Yeah.
let him go? तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा important चीज है. And then of course we'll do the La Liga review on Wednesday along with transfer updates. So before I go, check कर लेता हूँ कुछ transfer updates आया है. We'll speak about that. Samuel Luckers says Manchester United view Marco Arnautovic as pragmatic short-term option to support starting forward. An ideal character for dressing room, still struggling for self-belief. Clear signs, clear indications of a panic buy. Manchester, uh, Manchester United considering signing Arnautovic to Eric Ten Hag as an alternative option who can help the team grind out wins. Arnautovic is seen as a potential game changer off the bench. This is really disappointing. You are buying players just to grind out wins, and again clear sign of panic buys now. Abhi, now it will start. Now that they know signed players, they their back is on fire, and they now want to prove to the fan base. So they will end up signing doing panic buys like how we did couple of years back. Van de Beek, who was it? I think Cavani was
Odemega.
Ahmad Pelestri and Odion Igalo
Odemega.
towards the last day of. So we'll end up doing these stupid signings, and again, it's not going to land us anywhere. Top four, I'm
Hmm.
out is completely out of question. There's slight hopes था थोड़ा कि टॉप फोर में यूनाइटेड फिनिश हो. अभी वो भी नहीं है. Nottingham
I,
Forest have agreed a fee of 9 million for Real Betis for Alex Moreno. Medical
Hmm.
in few days. Said to be the 13th signing. 13 signings किए Nottingham Forest ने.
Hmm.
Alex Moreno
Not
to Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest seems to be like very what do you call ambitious apparently since that comeback after
uh,
23-year exile.
yeah, basically they have this Turkish owner, right, who is I believe he also owns either Galatasaray or Fenerbahce, one
Yeah,
of those clubs.
yeah, the
So
Turkish club,
Yes,
correct, correct. वो
yeah,
Turkish
yes.
club है वो
so he
own
has
करता है.
money to spend. Yeah, so he has money to spend for अच्छा है, like and they are also a historic club.
Yes.
So any fans who are looking to switch from supporting United, they might move to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, but Nottingham Forest also makes sense. At least they have Champions League to their name.
Yeah, they do
हाँ हाँ
exactly
they
better
have
than Man City.
Exactly. Better than Man City and
Yeah,
Chelsea as well.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, all right. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been amazing this weekend. Anything you would like to add? Agree?
nothing
Waiting for
bro.
the game week two. Let's see how it's going to be. And plus, the remaining probably La Liga is also starting right from next week,
Correct, correct.
so we can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
discuss on that as well.
Well,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
important games next week. So
Yes.
before we go, let's quickly have a look at games, that are next week matches. So Premier League में matches है. Villa, Everton. Okay, so
Hmm.
I think Brentford, United, Southampton, Leeds, City, Bournemouth, and then the most important game Sunday को है. चेल्सी
Hmm.
स्पर्स है एंड देन मंडे नाइट को है लिवरपूल पैलेस तो अगेन इंटरेस्टिंग गेम लिवरपूल पैलेस
Yeah,
बहुत ही
In
फैंटास्टिक
Anfield.
गेम होगा हाँ
Hmm.
एनफील्ड में ठीक है
Hmm.
एंड ला लीगा में कौन सी गेम्स है फर्स्ट वीक पे आई थिंक हमने सुबह बात की थी राइट
Hmm.
इट्स बारसा एंड राय वालकानो है एंड हु
Hmm.
इज मैड्रिड अगेंस्ट अप अगेंस्ट
I think
अल्मेरिया
Almeria.
अल्मेरिया
Almeria.
yeah,
Hmm.
गेटाफे एंड एटलेटिको दैट्स अ वेरी डिसेंट गेम तो ठीक है
Hmm.
सबको सब बिग टीम्स ला लीगा में सबको अच्छा स्टार्ट मिलेगा they
Yes.
all have
yeah.
decent games, so they can try to win the game. So I think let's see other leagues में कुछ important games है Bundesliga में कुछ है next week. नहीं Bundesliga में भी सब okay games ही है not nothing as such. And वेरी सेरिया भी next week start हो रहा है इसके बाद start हो रहा
I think ये वही ला लीगा के साथ ही स्टार्ट होता है वो
है हाँ
ये वो
और
कैसे
13th
में
August करेक्ट करेक्ट हाँ 13th
हम्म
August है तो
हम्म
मिलान यूडेनेजी है the
हम्म
first game and then I think there is Juventus and Sassuolo which is will be a good game.
सच बोला हम्म
तो अच्छा गेम है वो तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम बाकी रोमा और इंटर के लिए तो बहुत इजी गेम्स है इवन नेपोली
हम्म
तो उनको तो इशू आना नहीं चाहिए
बट
अगेन
बाय
ला
द वे
लीगा विल स्टार्ट तो
नहीं
हाँ बोलो ना बोलो ना
Sorry?
नहीं मैं बोल रहा था कि सेरिया के बारे में वी हैवंट डिस्कस नहीं ना दैट हु इज गोइंग टू विन द सेरिया
Yeah, yeah.
सेरिया या विल डू अ शो ऑन दैट वेडनेसडे को
यस
साथ में कर लेंगे
यस
ला लीगा
आई
और
विल डू
सेरिया का
ला लीगा एंड
डिस्कशन
सेरिया एग्जैक्टली
हाँ तो साथ में डिस्कस कर लेंगे Thank you
हम्म
guys for joining in. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Abhim. It was a pleasure
ओके
Yeah,
having you
pleasure.
guys, and both the teams are fantastic. And we'll join you guys on Wednesday. Excited, lots to talk about. We will be doing something apart from Premier League, and of course, the transfers जरूर होंगे. Thanks, guys. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, bottom right hand corner, and smash the like on the video. Bye, guys.
ओके
Bye.